President Joe Biden has promised Vladimir Putin will bear the consequences of the Ukraine war as he announced a raft of financial sanctions. The global international allied push to cut off Russia still excludes any sanctions targeting Putin, the Russian president, personally.
As shots ran out across Ukraine, Western leaders rushed to counter the attack. US boots won't be on the ground in Ukraine, but President Joe Biden's begun on his promise to deliver tough new sanctions.
Putin's aggression against Ukraine will end up costing Russia dearly, economically and strategically. We will make sure of that.
These include blocking major Russian banks from US connections, restrictions on 13 major corporations and entities, sanctions on people in Putin's power hierarchy, and restrictions on Russian military purchases. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson put forward a bold set of sanctions. These especially target the large contingent of Russian oligarchs who call London home.
He will never be able to cleanse the blood of Ukraine from his hands. And although the UK and our allies tried every avenue for diplomacy until the final hour, I'm driven to conclude that Putin was always determined to attack his neighbour, no matter what we did. Now we see him for what he is, a blood-stained aggressor who believes in imperial conquest.
The sanctions include an asset freeze on VTB Bank, the second largest bank in Russia, a block on Russian airline Aeroflot flying in and out of the UK, sanctions extending to Belarus, and 100 new individuals and entities. And the financial sanctions are extensive too. Russians will essentially be banned from accessing the UK financial system. They'll be blocked from accessing currency and excluded from payment clearing. There will also be a ban on British citizens interacting with Russian securities or providing loans, and a deposit limit for Russian citizens in UK banks. Not included, though, was any restriction on Russian access to the global SWIFT banking system. 11,000 financial systems around the world use the SWIFT system to securely send large money transactions. It would cripple Russia's economy if they were kicked out.
The sanctions that we've proposed on all their banks have of equal consequence, maybe more consequence than SWIFT, number one. Number two, it is always an option, but right now that's not the position that the rest of Europe wishes to take.
The critical issue is how long it will take these sanctions to have any effect as the situation in Ukraine becomes increasingly desperate, and whether more should have been done sooner.
No one expected the sanctions to prevent anything from happening.
NATO will gather 30 allied leaders in the coming days to map out next steps. But it all depends on how Ukraine holds out against the Russian onslaught. Annalise Nielsen, Sky News, Washington, DC.